Good morning. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you bow your heads for a prayer, please? Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen.
And do we have minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 7th meeting.
Second the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Okay, next is public comment regarding any pending resolutions. Is there any public comment regarding pending resolutions? Seeing none, we will move on to the resolutions. We have from the engineer's office, we have Dan Becker.
Morning.
Morning, Dan.
Morning.
Let's see what we have. 9 resolutions for your consideration today. The first is updating bridge load limits in Medina County for a particular road. The second is authorizing the Medina County engineer to advertise for bids for the ODOT item 422 chip and seal bid. The next is authorizing the Medina County engineer to advertise for bids for the 405 motor pave bid. The next is authorizing the county engineer to advertise for bids for the 253 pavement planing and repair bid. The next is authorizing the county engineer to advertise for bids for the item 441 thin overlay asphalt bid. The next resolution is approving the annual county highway system mileage certification report. The seventh resolution is approving plans and specifications to advertise for new pavement markings on various Medina County roads. The eighth resolution is approving annual assessments on improvements for the Lakeview Pine subdivision. And the last is approving that final plat for that same subdivision.
Make a motion to approve the 9 resolutions.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Next up, Jeremy Cinco from Sanitary.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
2 resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing the sanitary engineer to replace portions of the concrete walkways at the Hinckley Wastewater Treatment Plant through Equalis Group competitive bidding. And the second is authorizing a temporary emergency water agreement between Medina County Commissioners and the City of Akron. This is for supplying emergency water to the City of Akron over at Medina Line Road and State Route 18. They are fixing a water tower up on the hill by 77 there that requires this.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 resolutions.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next, we have Holly from HR. Morning, Holly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On our personnel changes resolution today, we have 1 promotion in sanitary, 7 rate increases, 2 in sanitary, 2 in maintenance, 1 at Job and Family Services, and 1 at Solid Waste District, and 1 in transit. We have 1 transfer from Job and Family Services, 2 leave of absence, 1 in transit, and 1 in finance, and 1 probationary removal at Job and Family Services.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. Next up, we have Brett from Finance. There you are, Brett. I was looking around.
Good morning, Aaron. Apparently you need more coffee than I do at the moment.
They've had too much.
Well, hey, I have 7 resolutions for your consideration today. Most of these are actually all housekeeping and kind of internal stuff. The first is our print shop revenue line item in the amount of $2,611.54. Our second resolution is for the gasoline rotary fund, and that is for $18,905.41. We then move on to our vehicle maintenance rotary fund. That is transfers in the amount of $51,359.42. Then our fourth resolution is for sales tax distribution to the various school districts. That comes in the amount of $4,451,882.07. Our fifth resolution is excess property. Almost all of this is due to our move out from the professional building. A lot of stuff going up for auction on that. So, our sixth resolution is expenses of county officials. We have one for JFS, two for the auditor for lunch meetings for chambers of commerce, and then this sanitary has one. Nothing out of state.
I'll make a motion. Oh, you're not done. One
Nope.
more.
One more.
Get the money
Seven.
one. You paused too long.
Seventh resolution is our weekly bills, so you might want to approve that one in the amount of $2,043,000 or $2,043,848.31.
I will make a motion to approve the 7 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
All right, clearly Colleen is done with me, so I
Yes, I am.
Thanks, Brett. Next up, Matt Springer, County Administrator.
Hi, good morning. We
morning.
have 2 resolutions. The first one is an agreement to lease 28.8 acres of farmland located behind the Medina County home. This would be awarded to Jonathan Gersbacher for a 2-year term with 3 additional 1-year extensions. And the second resolution is approving a lease agreement for Congressman Max Miller for about 531 square feet located at 72 Public Square, and this would be a no-charge lease. This is something we have done in the past, and it's been a good arrangement.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 resolutions.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just want to point out, I talked with Matt yesterday about this, the lease. We've normally not done a 5-year. We've added those additional optional years. It makes sense to go ahead and provide that, but there is a clause in there that allows the county to not renew that if it has a county purpose. And at least we've reserved that right without penalty. So I just assure that it sure makes sense to go ahead and, plus it also has a escalator or an increase factor for each of those years, which I'm fine with.
And in the Max Miller office, it's a really good service to our community to have access right here in Medina County.
Oh, 100%. It's been a real benefit, as many don't, to not only their staff, but also the congressman coming to a lot of community events and so forth. His office is right there. I think it's one of the best views of the square that you can ask for. Better than ours.
Especially when the heat works, right, Ray? Did you have anything to add, Ray? Ray's here from his office. I didn't know if you had anything to contribute to the conversation, or.
I mean, we just want to extend our gratitude on behalf of Congressman Miller and our whole staff for the commissioners' willingness to lease us that space at no cost to the communities. Willingness to have us. We love being in Medina. The congressman loves covering Medina, so
Great.
we're excited.
Well, we're happy to have you for another couple of years. So.
Yep.
And then before we call the roll, I have a potential conflict that's going to cause me to abstain from the farm lease version or the resolution. So I'll be abstaining on that. So could we split those into 2 roll calls?
Sure, I will make a motion to approve the farm lease resolution.
I will second that motion.
Okay, and roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Abstain.
And then I will make a motion for the Congressman Miller lease.
I will second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Next up, department updates. Sorry, Greg, I was asleep at the switch there.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
For, starting with census, we're currently at 44 residents. Of note, in December, one of our residents turned 101 years old.
Wow.
So,
Great.
as far as staffing goes, I only have 1 open full-time position now for second shift. Some of our maintenance projects, carryovers from last year, still don't have a door going into my office from the main hallway, but we're working on that. Laundry room door as well, and then the first project for this year, we've been wanting to do additional cameras for some of our key locations and working with IT and also 21st Century Integrated Systems to put those cameras in. Some of the events for November, Access the Arts hosted 2 events at our location. John Burke did come in full Indian attire and gave the presentation the first Thanksgiving. One of our residents grew up living by him, so that was very exciting for him. Some of our donations for November, the Lafayette United Methodist Church donated our Thanksgiving meal for us this year. Brought it in ahead of time, and then it was just reheated and served with some of our extras. Some of the events for December, the Clutter Christmas party, big event. The residents, staff, and some of our advisory council members, we rang the Salvation Army bell over at Bueller's at North Court. Also, the Friends of Medina County Home paid for our, it's annual now, our Christmas meal for the residents. It came from the Corkscrew Saloon. Excellent. Also, 2 events from Access the Arts. The Litchfield Band came and played. Medina Chorus came and sang. Several Christmas parties. Also, for the New Year's Eve, we had a Salvation, we always have a Subway meal, and the Brunswick Rotary donated the money for the meal. And then Pet Pals came with their 4-legged friends and brought cookies with them, which was also great. Some of the donations for December, what an outpouring from the community. Always a great time. Monetary donations, an avalanche of Christmas cards. Several churches brought presents. They specifically sponsored residents and then got them exactly what they were asking for, so it was really nice. For January, for this month, Access the Arts is coming, and then Ken Collins, former owner of Medina Steakhouse, usually every year donates a meal for us, and did it again this year for lunch yesterday. We served that meal. It was for staff and residents, so it was really great. That's all I have.
Super.
Great.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
And we have Eric from Soil and Water. Morning, Eric.
Alrighty. Since my last update in October, our office has assisted in 16 technical events, including 6 drainage site visits, 2 pond permit applications, 2 pond management site visits, 2 general land management visits, 1 pollinator habitat visit, 1 stream bank erosion visit, and 2 concept plan reviews. Our office made 141 site visits in total for 2024. Our office, along with the Muskingum Watershed Conservation District, assisted producers in implementing 327 acres of cover crops this last fall. Their payments will be going out at the end of the week following our board meeting. At the end of this month, we'll be finalizing our H2 Ohio nutrient management plans. We currently have 2 producers enrolled in plan development, totaling 526 acres within the program. We're still waiting on ODA to tell us if there will be a sign up for 2025. Education events since last October. Fall foliage tour took place on October 13th and 14th. Our office building was on the tour. There was a walking tour of our prairie and native plant gardens. I also had a booth set up at Phillips Family Farm on Spencer Lake Road. The owner, George Phillips, grazes sheep and cattle. Following the tour, I wrote an article about George's farm and then ended up on the front page of the Medina Weekly. On October 19th, we hosted a seed collection event at our office. Volunteers were able to collect seed and take a portion of the native seed collected home with them. October 30th was our SWCD annual meeting. Thank you, Commissioner Harrison, for emceeing for the night. We had Lori Coran from the CAUV office as our guest speaker. Our office really enjoys working with the students in the chef and restaurant management program at the Career Center, and the food was excellent. On October 31st, ODNR picked up Medina's contribution to the milkweed seed collection. Our office is a drop-off location for those efforts. ODNR collects and processes the seed, then redistributes them as usable seed for us to give out to community members. November 7th, our watershed education specialist tested the retention pond at Weymouth Crossing to determine nutrient levels and what land practices or treatments they could use to improve water quality. November 8th, I participated in the OSU Extension Kindergarten Ag Day at Blake Elementary. I talked about the importance of soil, and the kids made their favorite farm animal out of clay samples that our office had. November 30th, I put together a composting demonstration for a class at the Medina High School. I brought in all the materials and mixed a batch of compost with the students. Then we walked out and evaluated the setup Student Council has for their cafeteria waste. December 6th, I attended the Nowaka Rural Advisory Council meeting. None of the councils had a quorum, so we could not vote on any current topics. I have already sent in my notice that I am able to represent Medina on the Rural Advisory Council in 2025. December 8th, 2 staff members had a table at a Christmas in the Valley event in Valley City where they discussed proper salt techniques and water quality. Our office on the 23rd will be hosting the approved participants of the Rain Garden Cost Share program in Medina City. We had 3 applicants qualify for this program. These 3 will go through the class and learn how to properly install their rain gardens. If they meet all the requirements following inspection this summer, our office has reimbursement funds to offset the initial cost of installation. The SWCD Teach newsletter will be distributed to schools at the end of this month, and our January newsletter has been sent out.
Thank you so much.
Inside it, you will find our form for our yearly seedling sales, as well as our big tree announcement for 2025. Our next Stormwater Commission meeting will take place on February 13th. We will hand out 2024 year summaries for Phase 2 education and outreach efforts. This data is put into the county and 3 city reports that are filed annually. Our January board meeting will take place tomorrow, January 15th at 1:30 at our office. It is open to the public if anyone would like to attend. And if you have a group, club, or municipality looking for a speaker, please reach out to our office for anything conservation-based.
Any new bad trees I should be aware of on the list? No?
I can give you a big list if you'd like.
Thank you also for your continued service at NOAC. I know those meetings don't always happen like they're supposed to, but we're happy to have you up there as a voice for our rural community in particular. So
All right, thank you.
thanks for that.
Thanks.
Anything else? Nope. Thanks, Eric. Okay, it looks like we have one commissioner's resolution for the week. This is appointing a member to the Medina County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And this final appointment for the year to that board is going to go to Adina Kohler. I was looking for her name. Sorry about that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thanks,
Second.
Colleen. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? We had an interview with Adina. I think she's going to do a good job on the board. So, roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Okay, into public comment. I think we have a member of the public here. If you don't mind, come up, provide your name and address, and you have 5 minutes to come.
5 minutes. I was going to bring a stopwatch, but I left the house without it. So
That's
just
okay.
Let me know.
We give you some latitude.
Excellent. Thank you.
I
Good
don't
morning.
like to tell you that in advance.
Yeah, right. Well, I didn't want to assume. My name is Mark. It's M-A-R-C, Laux, L-A-U-C-K-S. I own a piece of property at 7640 Lafayette Road. That's just south of Richardson Farm and just north of the log cabin gun shop. We're across the street and a little north from the tree house, the tree farm. And we purchased the piece of property in April. I began to look at it actually in the fall before, in 2023, and we purchased it in April of 2024. And actually, it was actually by accident that we found the property. But I want to mention, I'm here to pay compliments to the permit department, but I'll get to that. A little backstory I thought you might appreciate. And I realize I might not be able to cover it all immediately, so I do intend to return to provide some additional information. I moved here from Pennsylvania after over 50 plus years. We moved here in an attempt to get closer to a family member who was outside of Columbus, and they're aging, and we wanted to make sure that we were nearby to provide support, since previously just being above the Mason-Dixon line and due north of Baltimore, we were almost 8 hours away. And so we lucked into this piece of property, which I found while staying at a Holiday Inn out on 18. And it was only by accident that I discovered this piece of property, and it sat abandoned for a fairly long time. Anyone driving by will notice that we've made a lot of improvements since buying the property in April. We wanted to restore what I know is called here a century home. It was important to us to try to honor the fact that the home stood for well over 100 years and sheltered a lot of families and generations of people. I believe it was the original home of the farm. It was a 160-acre tract, and we have 9.5 acres. Part of the attraction was we were located, or the house is located next to the Discovery Park, which gets a lot of homeschool people. My wife and I, my business partner, and our teenage son are actively involved in supporting homeschool families through our work. I do photography, we support small business owners, and we love to teach. So the purpose of the farm was for me to grow more flowers. In Pennsylvania, I only had about 1/3 of an acre, and I love to grow flowers. And so mostly it's to provide a teaching venue for people to come out and see how flowers grow, what a radish microgreen looks like when it's in flower after the second year. But that kind of brings me to kind of where we are. When we moved here, I reached out, or even before, I reached out to Sherry Meinke at Lafayette Township, explained what we wanted to do, so I wanted to make sure that I did it the right way. So I think owing to my short attention span and maybe just a Cliff Notes kind of approach to things, I think she probably told me everything I needed to do, but all I heard was get a permit from Lafayette Township, because that's probably what I wanted to hear. So I went to talk to her about a permit, and what I didn't realize is that, unlike in Pennsylvania, at the county level, permits are required. That's not something I ever experienced. So that brings me to, we ordered windows after really laboring for a long time, maybe 2 months. How wide should they be? How tall how do we restore this house to what it originally would have been like? And 2 days after I got the call that the windows were done and ready for pickup, I got a visit by Richard Nelson at the permit department. And I have to admit, at that time, I was in a bit of shock, because he told me about this idea of egress windows. Well, I didn't know anything about egress windows. Now, I'm glad I was told, because we want to make sure that we can get it out of our house and that firefighters can get in our house. But it was disruptive in that it was going to cost another 30%. And that was money we hadn't budgeted for. So I didn't meet his initial visit with the greatest of optimism. And he, seeing that I didn't have a permit after driving by for about a month, thought that maybe I was potentially trying to skirt the whole permitting process, but that's not what we were doing. Anyway, what I wanted to come here to tell you is I initially was not pleased with having to deal with the permit department. And I've come to understand that a lot of people really don't want, everyone wants that. And I told him, I said, look, I want to get away with as much as possible without getting away with anything. And so anyway, I think half of them found that kind of funny. But I just wanted to let you know that despite the fact that my initial visit and that whole experience was not pleasant, what I've come, because I've been open to this idea, but I've come to understand is it's great people over there. And I just wanted to call them out by name, because it's been a great experience. It hasn't been easy, and it hasn't been cheap, but we're in it for the long haul. I want to, call out Richard and the fact that he was really paying attention. I don't think that he leaves any stone unturned. And from there, I got to meet Liz and Aaron at the front office, really great people. Brad, exceptional. So much of what they've done in reviewing my plans as a homeowner, doing the vast majority of the work, has been so instrumental in helping us understand how we can do this and do it within code, but do it for less money and with less labor. And it's just been great. So something that would have initially caused me to think, this is going to be miserable, has been a benefit. And I want to mention that. Met Kevin over there with electric. A guy stopped by last week to inspect Scott Davis. Wow. Like, he looked at what we were doing, and he's like, hey, this meets code, but by the way, if you think about this, you could actually avoid a fire down the road. He actually left and then backed up the driveway and said, hey, one more thing. He didn't need, no one needs to go out. So I've found that what people will do there is they will go out of their way to make sure that somebody is well served. And I just want to say thank you for your time in hearing my public comment, and let you know that I'm grateful for everything that Medina has done for us. We love the area, fallen in love since getting here, and we are committed to supporting Medina County, supporting the people, the businesses, and long term we'll be looking to make a contribution to soil and water and all the things we want to do, because we want to try to deal with all the water we have on our property. So anyway, so I don't know how I am with my 5 minutes.
We give latitude when it's compliments.
Oh, okay,
all the time.
Yeah, we don't get that very often.
Right,
So
Yeah,
That's great to hear. We're
really
happy to
is.
have
Well,
you with
and
us.
we'll have Matt call Richard and make sure the entire department views this portion of the meeting. They can go back and actually view you.
Oh, okay.
So that would be nice for
Yeah.
the department to fast forward through our boring
Okay, yeah,
stuff to
right.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, thank you again, and thanks for your contributions
you're
to the
welcome.
community too.
One of the things I do with the flowers that I love to photograph is I produce a wall calendar, and I took some to the permit office. This is an example
Very
of
nice.
the wall calendar that I
Oh,
produced.
yeah.
So I brought 4 copies here. It also includes some information about what we intend to do with the property. We'll be looking to enlist the help of county agencies and other supportive people, so that we can get this done the right way and make sure that we're contributing to the community instead of just taking.
That's fantastic.
Well,
We're,
thank
you.
we're
Very nice
happy to
to
have
meet
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Very
Mark.
Very nice to meet you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? No? Then we're moving into discussion session. Yes, Laura?
I have two commercials. I thought I only had one, but then Greg was up here talking, and there's a benefit for the Friends of the Medina County Home that takes place on February 7th. I'm sure it just slipped his mind, but I just wanted to tell everybody about it. It's called Purses with a Purpose, and it's a designer purse auction as well as men's watches, wallets. So it's for men and women, and that is, I'm sorry, I think I said the 7th. It is Tuesday, February 4th from 5 to 7 at Western Reserve Masonic, their event center. But the real reason I came is to do a commercial for taxes. We got word last Friday that the AARP volunteers will be doing taxes at the Medina Library this year. We do schedule those, so next Tuesday, the 21st at 8 a.m., our phones will be live and we'll start taking tax appointments. There are 230 appointments to be filled. That may sound like a lot, but they will go very, very quickly. The appointments will be on either a Monday or a Wednesday at the Medina Library. They are not doing Brunswick this year again. They haven't done it for the past couple of years. The appointments start February 3rd, and the last appointment will be on April 9th. And they're between 10:15 a.m. and 12:30 a.m. So I just wanted to come here and get that out that we're going to start taking appointments next Tuesday. We'll probably be done probably in 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, they're going to go super quick, but I want everybody to know about it. So thanks so much for giving me a minute.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Matt? Eric was already up here. It's kind of a light crowd, okay. With that, I think we're ready for a motion.
I will make a
Do you
motion.
guys have anything?
Oh, yeah, did Colleen,
I
did
do
you
not.
have anything?
No,
Steve?
nothing.
Okay.
Yep.
I
guess
will
knew that.
make a motion to consider the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second, roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. And with that, we will adjourn to executive session. We do have budget hearings today. Those will not be live. I mean, they're public meetings scheduled on the agenda, but they won't be live on camera. So we'll see everyone on camera next week. Thank you.